Hi, my name is Carrie and this is the Creative Obsession channel. This is my channel where I talk about all my creative endeavors, mostly quilting and knitting, sewing, and some odds and ends here and there. But I hope that you will find something that you like. If you're new, thank you for stopping by. Subscribe and like the video if you like what you see. And if you're returning, thank you so much for coming back and coming and hanging out with me. Today is May 10th, 2018. It's a nice spring day. The sun's kind of in and out behind clouds. We are going to be approaching some hot days in the next few days. So it's supposed to be like in the upper 80s, close to 90 this weekend, which is like really hot. It's really hot. It just was raining this morning. So things will be a little muggy and sticky and hot. And I'll turn the air conditioner on and I'll be okay. Coming up for me next week, my friend is coming to stay with me for the week. She lives in California, and she's coming up because we are going to go to a concert. We're going to go see Pink, and I am super excited about it. I saw Pink when she came through this area last time on her last tour. She was up in Seattle, and this time she is actually in Portland. So I got a couple tickets, contacted my friend, and she said, yes, I'd love to come. And so she's going to come next week, and we're going to go see the concert and then just hang out and have some fun friend time. We've been friends for almost 11 years and have never lived in the same state. So we've had a long distance relationship, but we make it work. And I'm really excited to do this with her because when I went last time, she was like, if you ever go again, I need to go. So I snagged tickets as soon as I could because Pink is the one person I will spend money to go see because I just love her. And she gives a fantastic concert. So we're going to go be middle-aged women at the Pink concert and we're going to love it. So that's what I'm going to be doing. And like I said, I'm pretty excited. So, so next week, I don't know how much crafting and creative time I'm going to have because of having company. So my friend Lynn is not a knitter. She says she wants to try and learn to knit. The last time she was here, which was several years ago, I tried to teach her, and that project is still sitting in the same spot. She hasn't touched it. So I'm hoping that maybe this time, I don't know, we'll see. Trying to convert her. She's been a quilter, and her husband are now in the process of downsizing everything, getting rid of pretty much everything to go live in an RV. So her quilting craft is going to be extremely limited, if at all. So she's a very creative person, and we got to find her something to do. So maybe knitting. I think knitting's great because it's so portable. We'll see. The last episode I talked about my progress on the Forest Friends quilt that I had made the bunny blocks. So just as a refresher, this is the quilt. It is a quilt designed by Elizabeth Hartman, and I've done all the foxes, and the next animal that came up in the pattern was the bunnies. So the bunnies are not very exciting because in the pattern I noticed when I was having to select all the different fabrics, and you know, you had to do, I did this last time, 2, 4, 6, 8 different colors and then value within those colors. And I noticed that when I was looking to see what pieces kind of went where, that the bunnies in the pattern all looked like they were made out of a pretty solid fabric. And so I kind of wanted to stick with that because I figured the designer knows what she's talking about. And I thought maybe because there's so many little pieces that if you had it too busy, that might get kind of lost or just kind of jumbly. So I've made the bunnies. This was actually a more intense block to make. Doesn't look like much, but all of these little pieces, it was just a lot of piecing. So, you know, I could show you all of them. They're just all in different, mostly solid. This one has a little bit of polka dots on it, which is pretty cute. So I got all those done, and then I've put it aside because I had a couple of other sewing projects that I was doing as gifts. But I wanted to talk about a little tip that I can hopefully share with you. When you're doing a block like this or a lot of other blocks, there's half square triangles or just pieces that you sew on the 45-degree angle. So for instance, this piece right here, you're sewing on that 45-degree angle. So when you have a lot of those, like all of those pieces were done in the same way. And so one way that's usually listed in the pattern of how to do that is you draw a line on, I'll use the back of this. You draw a line on your piece on the 45-degree and you sew on that line. Sometimes you'll sew on either side of the line if you're making two pieces, but if you've got a lot of pieces in your quilt, that's a lot of extra steps to sit there and mark all those lines. And so something I have that I've used a couple of different things is I have this. This is called the Angler 2 by Pam Bono. I don't think that they're available anymore. And so it's a piece of like acetate plastic with these lines on it. And the idea is you tape it onto the bed of your machine. You line up that center line with where your needle's gonna go. So that when you're sewing, and if you line up your corner, I'm gonna hold this best I can. If you line up your corner with where the center line is, and then sew, so your needle is like right here, and so then when you sew, you're lining that piece up so that the corners and straight across it will go right up under your needle. So you don't have to have that line drawn because you're just following, guiding your piece of fabric along so those corners stay on that center line. Well, I had this is very old. I don't even know when I got it. And I had it where I would put it on, I had another machine that I used. And so I put a piece of little Velcro, I got it figured out so that it would line up where my needle is and get it all nice and straight, because you have to have that be exactly where the needle's gonna go or it doesn't work. And then I put a piece of Velcro on this, and then I put a piece of Velcro on my machine. So when I wanted to use this, I just stuck this on and it was all lined up. So then it has all these different lines so you can kind of keep track if you've made a bigger square of how to line things up. But the idea is the same, that you want to line up where your needle is and follow that center line. So now what I've done, because I don't use this anymore, is I have a like a plexiglass extension on my machine, and it's something that I bought. It doesn't come with your machine, but you can buy them. It's a Sew Steady, and they take the brand and number of your machine and everything, and they have the schematic, and it's custom fit to fit your particular machine, and then it gives you a nice flat space to sew on and have your, like as you're sewing, you have a flatter piece out here to support your sewing as you're going along. I've had that for years. So what I've done is I've just marked with a marker with a fine tip Sharpie, like the super fine tip Sharpie marker, and I marked on the bed directly in line with my needle. I found that would wear off over time just because of, you know, pushing fabric over it and whatnot. So what I ended up doing is on the underside, I just put a piece of Scotch tape and drew the line on the underside so I can see it. And the reason why I did the tape is because I felt like the line stayed better if it wasn't just on the plastic. For some reason, it just would rub off on the plastic. So now I can see the line through my plastic extension table. And so then I don't have to mark really any lines. If it's a really big piece that there's a line, I'll mark those just because that's a long stretch. And the bed of my machine's not that big to line up the bottom corner. So I'll put in a picture here of when I was making these bunny blocks. I just have a picture. I tried to take a video of it, but I couldn't hold my phone and sew at the same time. It was just not working, and I just wanted to get done what I was doing. So I looked to see if this was still available. It's not available anymore, but now there's a tool that's very, very similar, and it's by Quilt in a Day. That is the brand. It's Eleanor Burns's company, and it's called Sew Straight. And I found them on Connecting Threads, which is a sister company to Knit Picks. and they also have them on Amazon. So if you're interested in something like this, it's very, very similar. Look there and find it. It really does make quilting the 45-degree lines, whether it's a half square triangle or whatever you're making, makes it go a lot faster when you don't have to pre-mark all of your pieces. So just wanted to pass that little tip along. I did do some other quilting, and I can't show you because they're for gifts, and I want to make sure that the recipients get what I made before I show it here. So I will show that on the next podcast. I'll record a little something about them before I send them or give them away. So, but a really fun project. So anyway, that's just a little teaser for you for next time. I also, there's something that I want to bring up. I've mentioned before Mary Beth and Helen, who are the Crafty Toads, and they have their yarn dyeing business and project bag business called the Toad Hollow. And they were invited to vend at TNNA, which is the Needle Arts. It's like a trade show for needle arts. So fabric or fiber stuff. So, which is super exciting. What a tremendous opportunity for them, but it's extremely costly. And so they have started a GoFundMe to help get them to TNNA. And the funds that they're trying to raise will help pay for, their hotel, their travel, the booth space, the display stuff. It's like all that stuff costs a lot of money. It's a super great opportunity for them to grow their business. I supported them, and I wanted to mention it here to just sort of get the word out for them, because I know that it's really, really hard to ask for help and to ask for money for stuff. And so I just want to do my part to help them. I don't know them. I just enjoy their podcasts, and they are a fellow small business owner, and I want to just try and help promote that. So I will put a link down in the description box to their GoFundMe page, and even if it's just $5, if everybody that watched this video donated $5, that would be a tremendous help. So and then also watch their podcast. They're kind of funny. They remind me so much of Jim's sisters, my sister-in-law. It's been a long time since I've been in English class. So they're just funny, but very nice, giving people, and I just want to help get them there because it's a super great opportunity. So follow the link below if you're interested in helping them out. I would really appreciate it, and I know they would as well. Okay, I wanted to show something that I showed last time, and I want to thank you for giving me ideas on how to fix this problem. I had shown that I had knitted this dog sweater on my knitting machine for Millie. And even though I did the measurements and all that stuff, the legs ended up being too close together. And so I was going to try and like cut the leg holes open. And, I overthink things sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes. And somebody had suggested, can you just knit a little piece, open it up, and then add a panel? So that's what I did. So this was just mattress stitched on a center seam. So I just took that out, and then I just cast on hand knitting needles. Now I had to kind of guess, because when this is knitted on the machine, you don't know what the equivalent is to hand knitting needles. The numbers don't go back and forth the same. So I just kind of stuck my needle in here and go, yeah, that feels like that fits. I think that'll work. And I just knitted a little strip. And so hopefully you can see that. And so then I just mattress stitched that on, and that just gave that little bit extra that she needed to get her legs in here where she needs to have her legs. She still does not like the sweater. There's nothing I'm going to be able to do to make her like it. But she can now wear it, and it's not going to be digging into her so much. She's going to hate it, and she acts like she's just frozen. I tried this on her. I should have recorded it. It was pretty funny. Tried it on her to see, like, okay, did this really solve it? And I tried, and she was up on the couch, and so I'm trying it on her, and she just like freezes. I said, come here, jump off. And she was like, she just kind of fell over, like, I can't move because I have a sweater on. she forgets about it after she walks about 10 feet. So anyway, thank you so much for giving me the suggestion on how to remedy that problem. All the ends are woven in, so come winter, this next winter, she'll be ready. So thank you. And then I'm going to ask for some help about my knitting in a little bit because I have another dilemma that I possibly need to rip out, but I'm not sure. Well, let's go into it right now. So I had been knitting on the pullover that I'm doing, that 70s tee, which I'll show you in a little bit. And, you know, that's a real easy knit, and I just can sit there and knit, and I'll, like I had said before, I'll watch like Handmaid's Tale or something, and we're watching something kind of intense, and I just kind of get going on it. Well, my hands were getting really tired and really sore, but I can't not do something. So I thought, okay, let me pick up something else. I thought I could pick up my crochet or whatever, and I thought, you know what? Why don't you pick up that cardigan that's been sitting over there needing to have sleeves put on and work on that? So I did. And I thought, okay, that was good. They're bigger needles. It's a little bit slower because of the fact that it's a sleeve and you're turning it, so I can't just sit there and I have to have those little rests in between. So it's going along smoothly. So just as a refresher, there's my cardigan. It is the Seeing Stars cardigan by Alicia Plummer. Staring at Stars by Alicia Plummer. And I think my sleeves are too tight. Okay, so I finally got my sleeve long enough, so it's still in the needles, and I can get my arm in it, and it's fine. But they're kind of snug. They fit more like a t-shirt would. And I don't know if I should leave that. I mean, they're not tight. I just don't like things like clinging to me. It just bothers me. So I don't know if that's something that's going to block out when I actually block the sweater, because I know things kind of, you know, things will relax and that kind of stuff. It is 100% superwash merino. So there's that. You know, because I'm getting down to where almost needing to put the ribbing on. I'm almost done with the sleeve, but I just feel like it's snug. But like I said, I like things kind of baggy. So I don't know if it's just because I'm you know, kind of a little uncomfortable. I don't really want to redo it, but it's like, okay, just putting that on so my sleeve get all bunched up. I don't know. Do I redo it? And if I redid it, my thought is, if I re-knit it with the next size needle, I don't know what size I'm using. This looks pretty big. This is a 7, so I would re-knit it with maybe an 8. You know, when I did gauge for this, I did it knitting stockinette back and forth because it's a cardigan. Well, now doing the sleeves, I'm knitting in the round, and so I think my gauge might be a little bit different. I don't know. What do you think? Should I just keep going and hope it blocks out? I don't know. I didn't think I had that fat of arms, but evidently I do. Okay, now I'm all like wrapped up in my yarn. It feels weird. So, and then I thought, well, you know, I could just go sleeveless and make it a vest. Okay, this is bugging me. Okay, now I'm unwrapped. I think I'm unwrapped. I don't know. I've got this yarn. Okay, there we go. So I thought, well, you know, I could just make it like a vest, just finish this off and have kind of a short sleeve cardigan, but it's a DK weight, which I don't know that I would ever wear a short sleeve DK weight cardigan. Okay, so I need opinions. Leave it and hope it blocks, because I don't want to do the other sleeve if I'm going to end up ripping it all out, because I don't want to, I'm afraid that I would never finish it because I'd be too frustrated with it. I don't know. It's a little warm to be wearing it right now, though. So, leave a comment below. You know, you can comment, message me, whatever, something. I was ready to just go and just rip it all out, and I thought, no, wait a second. Hold the phone. Don't do that. You know, just maybe somebody has a brilliant solution, because you guys did with my dog sweater. So, you know, I really want to finish this because I have other sweaters I want to make, which is really weird, because if you've been watching from the beginning, if you remember me saying, don't think I'm ever going to knit a sweater. now I want to knit all the sweaters. And part of the reason is because as much as I like knitting shawls, I never wear them. Ever wear them. Ever wear them. Occasionally. I shouldn't say never. I very rarely wear them. Where sweater I would be more inclined to wear, especially if it's fingering weight. So, yeah, now I want to knit all the sweaters. Because, well, I'll talk about that in a little bit. Anyway, my other thing that I'm working on, which is, you know, kind of boring to show, I suppose, but it is that 70s tee. So I've just gotten a little bit further. I still have several inches to go to make it long enough. And it's going pretty well. So hopefully that fits. I do enjoy working on that. That is a very nice mindless knit, like as if you had socks or something, because I don't have to do anything but just knit. So it's good TV watching knitting for me. I did pick up some socks that I had out sitting on the needles because I want to start a new pair of socks, and I won't let myself until I finish the pair that's on my needles. And I got to the turning the heel part, and I'm following a pattern, and I can maybe show it to you next time because hopefully my sock will be done. But the way the pattern was written was to do it on DPNs, and so I did, and I found that that was part of the reason why I wasn't picking it up, because I wasn't enjoying the DPNs. So I put it back on Magic Loop, and I'm at the heel. So I'm going to keep working on that. I feel better. It's nicer for me to just do Magic Loop. Another project that I was working on that I've kind of put on hold, I need to get it done because this was for my niece, was my Noodle. This is the Noodle by Susan Claudino, little stuffy. I'm knitting it for my niece because she has a dog that looks just like the Noodle. And so I'm going up into the head. It's been slow going because I can't knit on it for very long. And because you're using a pretty tight gauge so that the stuffing doesn't poke through. And on wooden needles, on that tight gauge is really hard on my hands. And so I make it maybe a round or two, and then I feel like I have to put it down. So I just ordered some more tips in size 5s that are metal on Chow Goose, because I do prefer those, and I thought you can always use more tips and stuff. So those will come probably tomorrow or something, and then I'll switch these out, and then I think it'll go a lot smoother. So, you know, right now yeah, I don't know what it looks like. It just looks like that. So that has been my works in progress, trying to keep myself from casting something new on, because there's a sweater that Angelique, my friend Angelique, who is I'd Rather Knit on Instagram, I think, and she's the dyer behind the Black Sheep Yarn Company. And she had posted on her Instagram this adorable sweater, pullover sweater in DK weight yarn, had some type of a design like lace work or cabling or something here. And it was basically like, kind of looked like it was knit in a square. So the sleeve was just sort of a drop sleeve and then no sleeve. And I thought, there's my sweater. That's what I need to knit. And it looked adorable on her, of course. It's not going to look the same on me. It's going to look like Omar the tent maker made me something, but you know, I'll go with it. And so I want to knit that. It's knit out of DK, which goes fairly quickly, and I think I would get some use out of it, and the fact that it's not sleeves and all that kind of stuff. So I really want to start that, but I need to finish what I got going on. It just takes so long. It just takes me so long. So then when I was at knit night the other night, one of the gals had brought this magazine, and it is creative knitting, simple knits for spring and summer, and it's got some really cute patterns in here. Oh, I thought I marked my spot. Okay, so there's this pattern. So there's this pattern. Isn't that cute? I thought, oh, I need to make that. It's a scoop tee, the Sarasota. It's made with fingering weight yarn. Super cool. It's got a little bit of lace and kind of ribbing, and I thought I really want to make a sweater out of my light pink colorway that I have in the shop called Tutu. And it's just a light pink, and I think this would look so good in that. It would look really good. So that's, I kind of want to do that, and then it's short sleeves, so I don't get stuck on Slave Island because I have a tendency to do that. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't even do it. Oh, you know what? I have a giveaway to give away. You guys are probably sitting there going, where's the dang giveaway? So I'm going to do that. Sorry, I forgot. It's sitting right here. Okay. So last episode, I told you about the giveaway for the hand salve from Woolen & Company. So this is her refresh colorway, her refresh formula scent, whatever, called Revive. And I put everybody's name in my bowl. So let me pick somebody. Hopefully it's somebody in the United States because postage has been killing me lately. It is Taxi Yarn. So Taxi Yarn, contact me so that I can send you some of this Revive. Is it raining? I don't know. Sorry. Boink. And thank you for Woolen & Company for donating this. I really appreciate it. So, Taxi Yarn, you can contact me on, since you have yarn in your name, I'm pretty sure you're on Ravelry, and I've seen your name before. I may even follow you on Instagram. I'm not sure. But contact me and give me your address, and I will send you your hand balm. Thank you, everybody that entered into that giveaway. I appreciate it. I'm going to hold off on giveaways for a little while, a couple episodes even, because the last couple of giveaways have been out of the United States, and so postage gets a little bit spendy. When Jim and I were out and about, I stopped at a yarn shop, picked up a couple of books that I've been wanting to get. So I treated myself, and I got Interpretations Volume 5, and this is a book that's put out by Joji Locatelli and Vera Valimaki. And there's some really cute stuff in here. Really cute. Some of the stuff I'm like, okay, that's cute on you. Probably won't look cute on me, but it's cute on you. Or it's like, wow, that's a lot of knitting. I'd probably never finish it. But something that I thought was really cute, and it was something that Joji was wearing, is this sweater. Look how cute that is. And with the panel that goes this way with the stripes, I thought that was really cute. And she makes things kind of airy and floaty and not so clingy. So I'm looking forward to that. The other book that I wanted to get was the one by Bristol Ivy called Knitting Outside the Box. And this is a gorgeous book. I haven't had a chance to really like read it because it kind of reads like there's patterns, and her aesthetic is just really cool, and her photography is just really cool. So that one, there's a whole thing of like, I think kind of helping you to maybe kind of design your own or kind of figure out your own knitting patterns, kind of a thing. But it's really a really beautiful book, and that was a treat for me to get that. So coming up, I'm hoping to just kind of finish off some of these projects. Like I said, my friend's going to be here this next week. So my plan is to record again in a couple weeks like I usually do. Although I may stretch it out another week if I don't have enough to talk about, just because of next week not having a whole lot of crafting time. So I think that's everything for now. Thank you so much for stopping by. Like I had said earlier, subscribe and hit the like button. And that just makes my channel a little more viewable and searchable on the old YouTube. And I will be back with you when I get back with you in a few weeks. So keep crafting, keep making, and I will see you guys next time.